On Monday, my client will be performing HIIT training. We'll start by doing a warm-up where my client will need to do stretches on the muscles, quads, hamstrings, calves, and then on their shoulders and arms. Then I will get my client to do a pulse raiser on the bikes in the gym, as this session is in the gym, and I will get him to do a 2 minutes of this at a low intensity. Then my client should be prepared for the session, where it will consist of mountain climbers for 40 seconds, forearm plank for 20 seconds, plank jacks for 40 seconds, forearm plank for 20 seconds, hold, and then rest for a minute, and then lateral plank walks for 40 seconds, forearm plank 20 seconds, and then have 2 minutes rest where they will perform the exercise for a second time. My client will need to finish the session with a cool down on the same muscle groups as they did in the warm up, and in the main activity my client will perform all of that 4 times in total. On Tuesday my client will have a rest day. On Wednesday my client has a game, so there is no session between us. On Thursday my client will do a weight training session where we will focus on legs. We will start with a warm up where my client will stretch out his glutes, hamstring, quads and calves. We will start the session by doing some bodyweight exercises in the circuit. This will start with lunges followed by squats and then one-legged calf raises where he will do all of these at 10 reps on each leg, and we'll have a minute's rest and repeat the exercise in the same order again. Once this is done, we will start doing weighted exercises on his legs. We will start with squats and lunges where we will use the weight he used last time on these, but add a bit of weight on if possible, where he will do 3 sets of 8 reps on both. We will then go to leg press machine where we will find the right weight for my client, and he will do 3 sets of 10 reps on this. Then we will go on to the leg curl machine where he will do 3 sets of 10 reps for the appropriate weight for my client. We will then finish this off with calf raises with dumbbells. We will do one leg after another where the leg being targeted we will put on a higher platform to get the full motion on, where he will do 10 reps on each leg, being one set where he will do 3 sets. We will finish the session off where he will perform the same stretches as he would of in the warm-up, but holding them for a long duration to fully stretch them after an intense workout on his legs. Then on Friday my client will be performing circuit training where he will start with a warm-up consisting of a low intensity jog for a minute, followed by stretches focusing on his legs like he has done for the other sessions. Once this is done, we will start the session where he will start with skipping for 30 seconds, then mountain climbers for 30 seconds, side plank, one on each side for 20 seconds on each, jump lunges for 10 times, and then to finish off shuttle sprints for 45 seconds. They will then get 1 minute's rest and repeat again and then again for a third time. We will then finish the exercise with a cool down where he will perform the same stretches as he did in the warm-up, but have a slow walk where the strides are larger than usual. On Saturday my client will have a rest day. On Sunday my client will do weight training. We'll do a weight training session where we'll do the same as last week, where we aren't just focusing on 2 muscle groups and focus on the whole body. We'll start by doing a warm-up on the muscle groups in his body as we're covering the whole body. We'll start on legs where my clients will do calf raises on the machine in the gym. He'll do 3 sets of 10 on the weight that we find is right for my client. This will then be followed by squats where we'll do the weight that he previously done last did with squats, and we'll try and up the weight a bit or the reps. He'll do 3 sets of 8 reps if he's up the rate, or 3 sets of 10 reps if he stayed on the same weight. Then we'll move off legs and go on to chest, where he will start with bench press and then incline bench press. Like with squats, we will use the same weight that he previously used and try and up the weight a bit if possible. He'll do 3 sets of 10 reps on both, and he'll perform pull-ups where he'll do 3 sets of 12, and finally end on bicep curls where he will use 14 kg as he is upping from 12 kg this time on each arm, and perform 3 sets of 10 reps on each arm, and then use a 10 kg on each arm after and do 3 sets of 15 reps. Then we'll do a cool down that is similar to the warm-up, but he performed, as he will need to stretch out the same muscle groups. The alternative warm-up that I'll be changing is where I'll get my client to do a pulse raiser on the bikes in the gym, as this session is in the gym, and I'll get him to do it for 2 minutes at a low intensity. They may not be able to do this warm-up due to them not being able to access the gym, or the bikes aren't working, or they're being used by someone else for another session. An alternative for this can be a low intensity jog for 2 minutes that can be varied in different ways. The session that I'll be altering is where we were doing interval training. In this, we will use stairs at the ground with a stand, where I will get my client to run to halfway up the stairs and then back to the bottom, and 3/4 up the stairs and then back, and then eventually to the very top and back down. My client will then get a minute's rest and have to perform 15 burpees and get another minute's rest, where he will have to repeat what he just did again, and will perform this 4 times. We may not be able to perform this session due to the fact that we may not be able to use the stairs. So then the way that we can change this is to use a hill at the local park, or if that is big enough, and then if that's not possible, we can just do it on the flat ground. The cool down that I'll be altering was consisting of a low intensity jog followed by static stretches like lunges, squats, hamstring sweep, holding leg up behind bum. My client may have picked up an injury in the session which may prevent him from being able to do certain movements, so instead of doing this, we'll get him to use a foam roller.